Yes, you. Welcome to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast, a podcast for people who want to disrupt their lives for a good reason, to make it count. I'm your host, Jen Glantz, and every week I'll drop a new episode with stories from real people just like you, who woke up one morning and decided to make big changes, starting with small things. We'll cover topics like entrepreneurship, love, failure, and self-care. Hey, you're not getting any younger, so let's make this an adventure. Ready? This week's episode is brought to you by the Unstuck series, a 4-week coaching and challenge experience to help you get out of that rut that's just been dragging you down. If you're looking at yourself recently and you feel like you just don't feel like you used to feel, you feel unmotivated, you feel stuck, you feel lost, and you don't want to feel that way anymore, check out the Unstuck series. Head to jenglantz.com/unstuck to learn more. I hope to see you there, where I will push you forward out of that rut and into the person that you recognize again. Hey, any youngers, it's me, your host, Jen Glantz. Welcome back to another episode of the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. I am so happy that you're here. I've just been spending the last couple of minutes in the You're Not Getting Any Younger secret Facebook group, which I hope you join. There's over 1,500 people in there currently, and it's like-minded people who listen to the show, who help each other out, whether it's with getting jobs or just understanding the challenges of day-to-day life. It's also just a great place to hang out and to read resources and meet people. But today I want to read you some of the answers to a thing that I posted in the group a couple of days ago. The question I posted, which is how I usually end all of the interviews with guests, is to fill in the blank, you're not getting any younger, so here are some of the responses that people in the group wrote. You're not getting any younger, so be yourself. It's all you can do. Amen to that. You're not getting any younger, so say yes to those dreams and put in the work now. I love that one, especially because all of you have something on your mind, your to-do list, hidden secretly in your brain that you want to conquer, but you're scared to start. You're not getting any younger, so text them, call them, see them, love them, feel it, do it, and don't look back. Gosh, I want to print that on a t-shirt. I love that so much. And amen to that for sure. You're not getting any younger, so stop overthinking and scrutinizing from what other people have to say about you. What is meant to be in your life will find its way to you. I like that. Stop listening to other people and the criticism and feedback they give you when it's not called for or asked for. Love it. You're not getting any younger, so don't let other people get in the way of your happiness. Yes, and I think a big thing that I've started to do is planning things for myself that make me happy and not inviting anybody else. That way, I have something on the calendar that's all about Jen. You're not getting any younger, so live life to the fullest. That is awesome. Somebody wrote, you're not getting any younger, so find me a husband. I love that. And then someone else wrote, come on, help everyone. That's awesome. And finally, you're not getting any younger, so exercise more, worry less, and call the people you love often. I can never hear that last one enough. If you have an answer to that question, why don't you come hang out in the You're Not Getting Any Younger secret Facebook group and share with us what you think, what you feel. We're eager to hear from you. The theme of today's episode is something that hit me hard a couple of weeks ago after I was speaking on the phone to a woman who just graduated college. And she was in a bit of a pickle of a situation because she graduated college with a job, which is not something most of us have, or I at least did not have. I didn't even have a resume. I was a poetry major in college, okay? So I literally had nothing, not even a game plan. I graduated college and was like, wait, that's it? That's all? Like, there's no what? I was so confused. But this woman had a job. And a month or two into the job after graduating college, she gets laid off. Plus it's coronavirus and it's just a lot. And we hear so many different versions of the story of people graduating or just people getting laid off, or they thought they had their whole life planned out and now it's sort of gone away. And I'm listening to her, and a big thing she just kept saying over and over again was that she just didn't feel like herself. She didn't have the motivation to look for jobs. She didn't have the energy to really fix the situation she was in. And it's unlike her. And I couldn't help but think, especially in a time right now, how many of us feel stuck. I feel like we're in this rut we can't get out of. And whether it's personally or professionally, the virus over the past couple months and all of the changes in the world have made us all just not feel like ourselves. Yet we're supposed to be functioning like ourselves. We're supposed to be doing all the things that we usually do as ourselves. And that can be super challenging and hard and scary. And a lot of what I thought about was the fact that so many of us feel this way. And what the heck are we supposed to do? So I put together this coaching challenges series called the Unstuck series. And you can check it out on my website, jenglantz.com/unstuck. But I want to share with you 3 actionable ways that you can pull yourself out of a rut. So if you find yourself feeling stuck or unmotivated, here's a great 3-step start to help you get out of it or to help you get through it. So the first part is examine what's going on with yourself. So have that honest moment with yourself. It's not enough to just say, oh, I feel stuck. I don't feel like myself. I feel unmotivated. You really have to tap into what is going on. So you feel unmotivated because fill in the blank. You feel stuck because fill in the blank. You feel like an imposter because fill in the blank. So step 1 is to break down not only what you're feeling, but why you think you're feeling it. So maybe you're feeling extra depressed, extra down. Now list all of the reasons why. And if it's 5 things, great. If it's 50 things, great. But list them, get them out, get them to a place where you can see them and understand them and make them feel more real than they might feel just floating in your head under an umbrella term of you just feeling stuck. So step 1, get it all out there. What's going on with you? But also a big part of this step is to figure out what it is you want. Like if you feel stuck right now, what do you want? Like what would it look like for you not to be stuck? And why this is a tough question, why this is something that's not easily answered is because what it might look like is very different than what your life's looked like before or what you thought your life would look like now. So figuring out what your new goal is, what this new world is for you is super important for you to be able to understand not only how you feel now, but how you want to feel in the future. So step 1 is to take that inventory. What's going on? Why do you feel this way? How do you feel this way? And what is your out? What does that look like for you? What is that goal? What is that job? What is that feeling? What is that habit? So that you know how you can get out of this feeling and what that will look like when you land. Step 2 is to break some bad habits. So it's about examining where your life has become. Now, a bad habit that I started to adopt quite often when I feel down or upset or unmotivated is afternoon naps. And look, I am all about naps. I have been napping since I'm a baby and I don't plan to ever stop. But sometimes when I'm depressed or down or just feeling horrible, the nap turns into the whole afternoon. I know some of you know what I'm talking about, that nap that you say is 30 minutes, but then 3 hours later, it's 5 p.m. and you haven't got out of bed. Those are some of the bad habits I have when I feel down. And I will be completely honest with you, I have down days a lot. I don't necessarily post about them, talk about them, but I have those days and I'm actually really grateful that Adam doesn't judge me. We work in this 1-bedroom apartment. He works in the living room. I have a desk in our room. I shut the door, but I think he knows when I'm working because obviously there's no voice coming from this room. And when I'm sleeping, and I feel like he doesn't judge me for those 3-hour naps, but I judge myself because I know that, sleeping off the afternoon is not going to help the fact that I am not doing anything to get me out of this rut. Sleeping for 30, 45 minutes is great, but it's not even the nap I'm searching for. It's hiding I'm searching for. So what are some of those bad habits you've adopted? Is it the afternoon nap that turns into the afternoon? Is it eating unhealthy food as just a way of relaxing? Is it spending every single night binging an entire season of a show? Is it skipping out on calling people who you love because you don't really want to show up as yourself? What are those bad habits you've taken on over the past couple of months? And why that's important is because our bad habits keep us even more stuck. And what I mean by that is they fog our brain. They make us not think clearly. And before we know it, we are so lost in these new habits of ours that they become us. And we forget what we used to look like and what we used to do and how we used to feel, because now we're so enthralled in these bad habits. So step 1, identify what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and what you're looking to accomplish. But step 2 is breaking down these new bad habits that you've picked up over the past couple months. Like, I do not know one person who has not picked up a laundry list of bad habits since the month of March. A lot of people have picked up good habits that you see on Instagram, like working out and baking banana bread, but they've also picked up bad habits that we can't see. And the sooner you admit those to yourself, maybe you admit them to loved ones, the faster you can get out of this rut. Part 3, which I think is extremely important, is to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And what I mean by that is, now that we're breaking some of these bad habits, how do we do things that are going to take you to a new level, to get you to that landing place? And one of the things I want you to think about to help you get out of your comfort zone is to do something that my friend Molly wrote a book about and has reach out parties about, is reaching out to people. And there's a difference between reaching out to people to ask them for something, which I don't recommend you do all of the time, and reaching out to people just to catch up with them and say hello to them. And by the way, if you're in a down place, you're not feeling good about yourself, reaching out is not something you innately want to do. You almost have to push yourself a little bit to do this, but it could be incredibly worth it. So for this section, I challenge you, and this is what Molly, her book is about, and this is what she has, these things called reach out parties. Check her out, Molly Ford. I messed up my best friend's name. It's Molly. That was her maiden name before she got married, but her name is Molly Beck. She's the author of Reach Out, and she has these things called reach out parties where every day people get together and they reach out to people via email. So it's like everyone joins a Zoom call, and then on their own, they're reaching out to people via email. And what I'm saying is, like, check out your LinkedIn, go through your old contacts, and just say hello to a new person every day. Because the hello then turns into a new connection, or, rediscovering a connection, which can turn into new opportunities, new friendships, new everything. So that's a brilliant way of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Maybe another way of pushing yourself out of a comfort zone is starting to do different workshops, or take a course, or go to a virtual networking event. All of those things will push you out of your comfort zone and also help you look and do things differently. So those are my 3 tips for you. If you want to feel less stuck, you want to get out of your rut, is understand where you're at, how you feel, where you want to go. Number 2 is to figure out what your new bad habits are. And number 3 is to push yourself far out of this comfort zone. I'm cheering you on. If you want to chat more about this, come email me, jenglantz@gmail.com. Come say hello on Instagram, slide into my DMs @jenglantz, or hang out with us in the secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group. I hope to see and hear from you in one of the above. Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz. Hey you! Thank you for listening to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. There are hundreds of thousands of pods out there, so thank you for listening to this one. You can find the show notes for this week's episode up on our website, anyyounger.com. Subscribe, rate, and review the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast on iTunes so that other ears around the world can listen too. Oh, and join our secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group, where over 1,000 people are talking about how to disrupt their lives, for a good reason, to make it count. Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz.